Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and welcome to the Critical Path Podcast. I have today a special friend of mine here, Chris Dietz, as my guest. Chris, you want to say hi to the audience and introduce yourself?
What's going on, guys? My name's Chris Dietz. I am the founder and CEO of Find Me Staffing Solutions, a staffing agency to place great salespeople in great companies.
So, Chris, first off, thanks for coming today.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. One reason that I was really interested in sitting and chatting with you is because one of the major points of just insanity in my industry of construction, for sure, all industries really, but really bad in construction, is people. And so I wanted just to start, why did you decide to go into dealing with people? Like, obviously your company name kind of says it, like staffing.
Yeah.
Like, why people?
The reason why people is because I love people. And that's one of the things I've always been good with. I don't know anything else other than people. And in my previous companies, I've seen hours and days and hours and hours and hours spent trying to find the right people, but they just had no luck. It's either they hired a lot of people and all of them just bounce and either quit or they get terminated within 30 to 60 days.
Yeah.
And or they spend hours and days trying to find the right people, but they just can't because they're focused on running a company. They're not, the business owner isn't there to hire people. They're there to run the company. And so, you know, I saw a massive opportunity and a massive gap, and you know, it's my duty to fill that gap.
Yeah.
And save the business owner time by getting them the right people.
Yeah. You know what's funny? One thing that we run into in hiring for Home Love Construction. So one thing that actually I probably haven't told you is we hire a lot at Home Love Construction. We hire on average 5 people a week. And we also typically let go of 3 to 4 people a week. Not in a mean way, but in a matter of like you said, dude, not everybody's going to be a good fit. So we kind of take the it probably sounds kind of crude, but the machine gun approach of like, hey, let's get in people who we think might be good and then see who actually makes it. What's your take on, like, do you, like, just your own opinion, do you feel it's better to like be targeted and try to like find that good person and do a lot of vetting, or bring in a lot of people and see who sticks? Like, what's your personal take on that?
Yeah, great question. So definitely the right approach is to hire slow. And if you want to fire them fast. Yeah. So you simply want to make sure the person you're bringing on is the right fit. Multiple interviews is always best. 2 to 3 interviews per rep or per candidate, whatever it is. Yeah. And if you need to fire them, just fire them. Yeah. Like, get it done fast. Don't spread it out, because the longer you spread it out, the longer it drags on. And I'm sure you've seen it in your industry, in your space, and in your company, where, you know, you may have a meeting or two with the person, and then next thing you know, there's another meeting and another meeting and another meeting. You know, you just got to get to a point fast and just find out where they're at. Yeah. And if it's simply not a good fit, the faster you get rid of them, the faster you can replace them with somebody else. And it could be considered cruel. It could be considered cruel, but that's the way it works. Yeah. You know, there's 8 billion people on this earth, so there's no shortage of people on planet Earth.
Yeah. Have you ever been fired?
Yeah.
Have you personally? Yeah, you have?
Yeah, I have.
What did you get fired from?
I got fired for, this might sound insane, but I got fired for being lazy. I was working in a hospital, cooking food. Yeah. And man, it was just such an experience. Like, whatever you would think would go down in the kitchen in a hospital went down. Yeah. And
like, what's an example? Like, I can't. I would think hair in the. I mean, what? Like, what goes down in a hospital?
You know, it's just the environment. You know, it's like we're in a dungeon. Like, we're on the basement floor. It's like there's no windows. You know. Now, hey, look, if that's the fit for you, that's the fit for you, right? Yeah. Like, I have no disrespect to anybody that's cooking at all. I love cooking. Food's great. But you know, I walked in the one day and I didn't do my job. Like, I straight up was not doing my job. Yeah. Boss was like, "What happened?" I was like, "Man, I'm just gonna be real with you, 100%. I was being lazy." Yeah. And the next day he's like, "You got any last words?" I was totally oblivious. Like, I was like a kid right out of high school. I'm like, "Last words for what?" And he started laughing, walked away. Next day I got fired.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got fired from there. 1 year, I had 7 jobs in 1 year. So, wow. You know, and they were all like separate, different spaces. So, you know, I bounced around a lot, but it was just because I didn't know. I was just looking for the right target.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel like you found it now?
I've found it. Yeah, I definitely found it. Yeah, for sure.
Good. And so like, what is your target for your business? Like I definitely want to know about like, what's the target for the business? What's actually like the mission? You know, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but like, I want to hear more about it.
Yeah, great question. So my main target is to have multiple people inside my company make millions of dollars a year. So I want, like, my biggest focus right now is to sign up so many clients, get them for placement, and then fill up my calendar so much that I have to hire people to do it.
Yeah.
And I want my salespeople and my people in my company to get very well paid.
Yeah.
Because I know the more people that I can bring inside my company to like get paid well, the longer it'll stand and the better reputation and so forth. You know, I don't want to be the only guy making all the money.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather make less money and have my people get paid to have a long-term growth rather than just like, you know, like getting paid quick and just taking all the money for myself.
Sure.
I want to make sure my company gets paid. So my real target is $100 million in 3 years.
Yeah.
And my long-term goal for all the companies is 35,000 employees.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You said all the companies.
All the companies, yeah. So my target is to have this company be the start off.
Yeah.
And then once I get this up and ground running, get it to, you know, $10 million a month or $8 million a month.
Yeah.
Real target's $10 million a month. Then I'm gonna get another company and start partnering up with other companies and kind of build an umbrella underneath me, and then just massive takeover.
Yeah.
And make sure that all my people get taken care of, like it's like the best place to work at.
Yeah.
I want a great environment for my employees.
Yeah. How long, like, what's your time target for, because right now it's just you.
Yep.
Right. What's your target for having your first employee?
My first W-2 employee is probably within the next 6 months. Right now I'm just doing contracting. So I just hired a setter that's going to be setting appointments for me.
Nice.
And, you know, I'm getting that off the ground. Yeah. And I feel that as though like I can really scale this thing fast. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you're obviously an aggressive guy, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
I've in my old age, I'm like 31. I feel like I'm so old now.
Yeah.
You're how old?
I'm 26.
You're 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so old being 31, dude. It's so funny. I'm so young, but not old
it's
at
5
all.
years.
Yeah, I know.
It's 5 years.
I know. Maybe I've just been through so much shit with my employees that I feel old. Maybe you could help.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it is. Experience is good. But what like in really like going out on your own and like starting from literally zero, like what did you feel on like your first day? Like, hey, I'm going to start this company. Boom, I'm like starting from zero. What did that feel like for you? And what's your, like, I feel like you have a really good mindset. So I'd like for you to talk about that a little bit. Because I think some people go into business having kind of like incorrect data and maybe have wrong targets when they start. It makes them take way too long to get big. Can you talk about that? Like, what's your mindset when you started at zero?
That's a great question.
Thanks, man.
The first thing I did was go right into promotion.
Yeah.
So I didn't make calls.
And define that.
Yeah,
like
I didn't.
What does that look like for you?
Straight like Instagram posting, Facebook posting, getting myself out there, and applying the formula of like getting comm lines. So I need to or communication lines.
Communication lines. Yep.
Yeah, I need to let people know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I didn't make cold calls. I didn't message people selling them my services. The first 3 days was just pure filming.
Yeah.
And so that way, like, I can post and promote to these people. And then, like, if they look at my profile, I already have the content there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So my first step was promotion. It was super scary. It was almost like I was living in a dream, man. It was insane. You know, because I've always wanted to, like, be in front of the screen and stuff. But, like, once it actually was happening, I'm like, all right, this is real.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this. So just straight promotion. Yeah. And then after that, revenue. Yeah. So promotion, then revenue. Yeah. All the mechanics, you know, the website, the paying, all the little things.
The what?
The paying, like get a credit card processor. Or like
being able to take other people's money.
You know, get whatever it is, you know, just the little things, right? The little things that you would think that a business owner would need to start off, which a business owner does need, but
sure,
you know, like website, like all that stuff. Like,
well, but really,
I didn't focus on any of that.
But really, it's like you just said it. They don't actually need it.
Yeah,
they
don't
consider that they need it, and they decide for themselves that they need it. So what, like your first client, how did you take payment? Zelle?
Wire.
A bank wire?
Yeah. Everything right now is
straight
pure
into
wire.
Your personal account?
No, I got a business account. Yeah, I got a business account.
Whatever.
But I didn't set up my business account until I got a client. So like all the business accounts, all like the paperwork and stuff, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that takes so much time away from you actually going out and getting revenue. I was speaking to one of my buddies on the phone, and I was talking to him about this. I'm like, yeah, man, I got to get this set up. He's like, dude, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, this is the one mistake that business owners make when they start their own business.
Yeah.
It's that they get all the mechanics right, but then they don't focus on getting revenue, and then they end up running themselves into the ground.
Yeah. The important thing.
The important things, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I didn't get my business account until I got
important
a client.
things. The important thing, money.
Exactly.
Like revenue. We live on an economic planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need revenue.
Yeah.
You need revenue.
Yeah.
And you could set up all the mechanics and stuff you want, but if you don't have revenue coming in, you literally can't run a business.
Yeah.
You know?
Literally. Yeah, dude, that's so crazy. Like so many.
Yeah, it was such a mind switch, you know?
Yeah. So, okay, so to recap what you just said. So first promotion, right? Like get your communication lines out.
Yeah,
make
like
people,
get seen.
Make people understand that you exist, and it's a very simple statement of what you do, right? And I've actually, one of the reasons when we were coming down here, so we're shooting this in Miami, so I came to you.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I was excited for is I was like, man, I got to talk to Chris about this when I get down to Miami. Is you immediately gave a very simple pitch, which stuck for me instantaneously, which is I find companies great salespeople. Is that the exact pitch?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. That's because it's so simple that I immediately committed it to memory.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'd imagine that other people who know you probably also are like, oh, somebody who finds salespeople, Chris Dietz does that.
Yep.
Right. So why, like, obviously that's a smart thing. Why did you come up with that pitch, and how did you come up with that specifically?
Great question.
Thanks.
So, just simple, man. Simple. Like so simple. I'm very fortunate from my past and the places that I've worked at where I'm like, I mastered the skill of sales.
Yeah.
And so, well, I consider myself to be very good at it.
I'm glad you walked that back ahead, because I'm like, there's some people who are going to see this.
For sure.
Who would probably be like, I'll take you on, Chris.
Let's compete. Let's compete. I would consider myself pretty good.
I agree.
And
From everything I've seen of you, you're a wicked salesman. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm very fortunate to, what I've trained on, what I've done. But, I just kind of looked at what the buyer is looking for.
Yeah.
Like, what would they want? Would they want a complicated pitch that's specific to a market, or would they want a broad pitch? And it's funny when you lay out the sales process, because it could get so deep, but it's so simple. Like, you just got to look at what does the buyer want? Okay, they want salespeople. What kind of salespeople? Great salespeople. You kind of work it backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And what kind of companies do you want to work with? I want to work with great companies.
Yeah.
Good. I get great companies, great salespeople.
Yeah.
Boom. And that's it. And now and then after that, you can start building the pitch of, hey, we increase your sales. Like, with the salespeople I provide, they're already trained. They're not trained by me. I partner up with people, and they already train them, and I'm like basically a middleman. But you can get, you could start building it out from there. But the main thing is the pitch, man. It's the pitch, dude. If you don't have your pitch, man, like for example, this morning I was at Equinox down here in Miami. Yeah. And I'm dude, I'm promoting every day, man. I'm standing up straight. I'm not on my phone. I'm in the elevator. I'm literally just standing across from this guy. I'm like staring at him, And like, I pulled his attention in. Yeah. And we just started chopping it up, man. This guy's a developer, man. He's a real estate developer. Yeah. He's like, yeah, man, I need people. But I wouldn't have happened if I didn't actually promote myself out there. Yeah. And he's like, what do you do? I'm like, yeah, man, I get companies great salespeople. Yeah. That's it. Boom. Yeah. I can place him for you, man. It's real simple. He's like, done, man. Let's connect. Oh, wow. Yeah. Got his contact, everything right there. Yeah. You gotta have the pitch. Yeah, the highest level people. By the way, the other thing is that simple pitch, that's not for the $5 million a year company. Maybe you'll have you'll probably have a ton of like $5 million a year clients. Yeah. But that pitch isn't actually for them. It's for when you get the opportunity at the $500 million a year company. Yeah. Right? Because that guy who's running that doesn't even have time to think beyond 10 words. Like you won't communicate if you can't crunch it down to like 10 words. I'm just making that up, 10 words. For sure, yeah. Short.
But if you can't communicate it in 10 words, you literally don't have that person's attention, like for longer than 10 words. Have you recognized that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
How many stuff have you got pitched where you were like,
oh, dude, I don't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
I literally, like, people.
How does a guy grab your attention?
Oh, that's
like
a good
if like
question.
a salesperson was gonna pitch you, how would he grab your attention?
Man, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of the last thing that somebody sold me. I'm very proactive, so I go out and like buy stuff that I want like immediately.
Yeah.
Usually salespeople stand in my way, actually.
Yeah.
Like probably you know what it would probably be is like, hey Brad, what do you want? If somebody just asks me what I want, you agree with that? Well, I'm asking off camera here. Ashley's in the studio. You agree with that? If I walk in somewhere and somebody's just like, hey, what do you want? You think so? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm kind of bad. I react to obscenities. Like,
that's good.
That gets my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, like cursing.
So what do you want? That's the pitch.
What do you want? For me, it'd be like, hey, what do you want? And I'm like, if I'm interested in something, that's all it would really take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say you weren't interested
Hey,
in something.
great question.
Thank you.
If I wasn't interested in something,
someone walked you on the side of the road and said, pitch. And they pitched you. How would it grab your attention?
Yeah. Well, the beingness of the person, like how the person presents themselves actually is that. Yeah. So I guess
that's very good.
Yeah, it would be the way that the person presents themselves. Just for me, I'm not saying that this is like replicatable or duplicatable, but I would say like I have a very good, like I've just seen so many people. Like when you hire, so our company now hires on average 5 people a week in our company.
That's beautiful.
And we've just got a flow going, right? So I get to see a lot of people come through the doors and a lot of people go out the doors. And the people who make it all have the same like level of certainty, but they communicate the certainty more calmly.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a frantic like, you must believe me. It's like, hey, here's what's happening. Like they can communicate a message and they don't care whether you agree with it or not because they know it's true. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, somebody like that gets my attention right away.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's
and you have a lot of construction workers or contractors that follow your page and
yeah. So
you're saying if they were going to knock on a door, the person itself,
they'd have to have a short pitch.
Yeah.
Like they'd have to have something that would be like interesting. Like if somebody's like, hey, do you want to, you know what's funny is I'm looking at like, what are my own considerations about like, what do I actually want now? And I'm like thinking, man, what do I want?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like when you don't think about, I'm so interested in like keeping my time freed up, and not like letting people get in where then I'm going to have to like blow them out and be like, okay, we need to stop this pitch. I got to go.
Yeah.
A lot of like CEOs are like that. They don't want to have to tell people no, which is why it's so hard to get in front of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you recognized that?
Yeah. Once you get in front of them,
bro, they're lay downs.
It's a game over.
Lay down close.
Yeah, easy.
It's literally like just ask for the business and you're going to get it. They don't like saying
they wouldn't
no.
get on the call if they weren't interested.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. So how has it been prospecting and like what's it been like prospecting from a position of like, literally when you start a new business, you start at zero. Like I said before, you start literally, you're non-existence. You don't exist. So how has that been like prospecting and getting on people's radars with this hat you're wearing now, like brand new hat, right? Mm-hmm. How has that been getting their attention? Like literally from zero, it's like, hey, it's me. It's my conviction about what I'm doing, and it's my great pitch. Yeah. And that's what you're working with. How has that been?
It's fun, man. Yeah. I love it, man. It's a grind, dude. It's so fun.
How many calls a day do you make?
So it's actually funny. So I'm switching my model right now because I don't have leads. I don't have people to call.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, nobody at zero does.
Yeah. So what I'm using social media. I'm using Facebook and Instagram right now, and I'm sending cold messages out to everybody.
Yeah.
Cold messages.
Yeah.
People that are coaches, construction workers, consultants, business owners. Like I'm just straight cold messaging, like probably like 100 a day.
Yeah.
And out of the 100, if I can get 2 appointments out of it, it's a great day.
Yeah.
I've already it's in it. By the way, it costs zero money in marketing.
Yeah.
It's zero money in marketing. It's just a little bit more time, but the marketing and stuff, all that, I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
I don't need the marketing right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I need to get in like I need to get like promotion. I need to brand myself. I need to brand. If I just start running an ad and I get all these business owners trying to buy my stuff, but I don't have anything in place to actually fulfill the work, you know, then it just kind of causes a little bit of an issue. Which is a good issue. But, you know, I'm playing a marathon, not a race. You know, I can have a good month, but can you have a good career? You know, that's the game.
By the way, are you, I'm trying to think if this is you. Are you training for a triathlon right now?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's going to be in September.
Did you just sign up for one?
Yeah, I signed up a few months ago,
a half, a 70.3?
Half, yeah, 70.3, yeah. In Michigan.
In Michigan?
Yeah, Frankfurt, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You think you'll do it in under 420? So that's not a weed joke. That's an actual quote. No?
No
So
way.
that's my best half time from Austin 70.3.
Wow. 4 hours.
4 hours, 20 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's solid.
I was good, bro.
That's solid, man.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Ran an hour 20 off the bike.
Damn.
Hour 20 half marathon. Yeah.
Damn.
I used to be fast.
Damn, man. I need to train more, man. I need to train more.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That got me motivated.
What? Thank you.
Yeah.
Did I'll actually have to go look and make sure that that's the time that I remember. I have to go make sure it's right.
Yeah.
But I know I ran an hour 20 off the bike for sure. No question. That was my half marathon time. What have you always been into, like endurance sports, or is this a new thing for you?
Started back in 2020 during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started really running hardcore in 2020. Yeah, during COVID, yeah. Yeah, and then after that, it's just I've been addicted to it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a thrill for me, man. It forces me to be disciplined.
What's the longest like either run or bike or whatever that you've done? Like what's the longest?
Yeah, bike I did 120 miles.
Yeah.
And then a run I did 30 miles.
Bro. You did a 30-mile run?
Yeah, I did 30, 30-mile run. Wow. And it was in July of 2021. I did it in West Palm Beach, dude.
Yeah.
91 degrees.
Yeah.
Sun.
You run on road or trail?
Road.
Road?
Yeah, just road, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my
right next to the
God.
beach. So, dude, beautiful in West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
If you haven't ran there yet, highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's like ocean, mansions.
Yeah.
And I was broke.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just need to get around this stuff.
Yeah.
So I just set out. I tried it the first time. I did 15 miles, and I like pulled something in my leg.
Yeah.
So then I went out the next week, and I did the 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Went from 15 to 30. Bang.
How long? How many hours was 30?
That was about 8 hours.
8 hours.
I walked like 15 miles of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because when I run, I don't bring my phone.
Yeah.
I don't bring my phone. I had an old Ranger at the time, so like I didn't bring my keys. I put the keys underneath the tire, so all I had was my watch.
Yeah.
So I couldn't call an Uber.
Yeah.
I couldn't call anybody. I couldn't ask for help. And if I go that far, I have to come back.
Yeah.
Now when I did the 15 miler and I freaking pulled my leg, I had to ask the lady on the side of the road like if she could call me an Uber. You know?
Dude, you know what's funny is so in training for a triathlon. So this was when I was in college. This was back in like 2011 to 2015. It was in New York. I went to a military school called West Point in New York, and it's basically like in this bowl with mountains all around you. So we go on these bike rides, and you'd have to ride up and out. But there's this one particular huge mountain that you don't want to go around, and like there's a certain arrangement of streets and highways where it's basically illegal to go on a bike up and over the mountain. And my first long bike ride there, I was there with all like I was like a freshman, and I'm out riding with like the juniors and seniors and whatever. And I'm on a bike. I was terrible at the time, like just super slow, not a lot of endurance. And so they wound up dropping me like an hour in because they're just dicks. Like, they're just like, peace.
Yeah, hey man, yeah.
I'm lost. I'm in upstate New York. I'm fucking lost. Like I have no idea where I am. And so I'm going through this town called Newburgh, which is it's on the Hudson River.
Yeah.
And I'm like asking people for directions, like, hey, do you know how do you get back to the college? And they're like, oh, you go this way and you go on 9 and blah blah blah. And I was so introverted at the time. I didn't want to press them for like, hey, no, specifically left, right. Like I wouldn't like drill down in and like get the actual information. I was so shy. I literally, my phone's dead. I have no money with me.
Yeah.
I'm literally like just stranded out here and I have no idea where I am. And I wind up on that road going up and over the mountain. And I literally at one point just got off my bike and started, this is like 4 hours into the bike ride.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no food, no water. I'm like dehydrated. I literally was like, I'm going to die on this highway on the side of the mountain. I was just like, it's over.
Wow.
This is it. I'm dead.
Yeah.
And then some guy pulled over and was like, hey.
You were on the highway?
I was literally on the side of a highway on the side of a mountain, bro. Like in upstate New York.
Yeah.
It was just like, so ridiculous. I'm like, but you know what's funny is that was like kind of a moment for me where I was like, okay, I will never do something like that. Like not in as in I'll withdraw, but I'm never gonna like, I would call it dramatize my like stupidity in that way ever, because it was just stupid. It was like, dude, just stop and ask somebody for directions, and if you don't understand, make them make you understand.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean? It's just like, it's funny, dude. When I saw that you were training for a half, I was like, it brought me back like so far to like being a college kid and like really having to like, that was for me. That was kind of when I came like out of my shell a little bit more.
Let's get you signed up for one.
Yeah, dude, I need to
do another one.
Yeah, I should. I don't even have a bike right now. It's
Me
like
either.
that. You don't have a bike?
No.
And you were signed up for a 70.3?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, be sure you do it on.
No,
like,
I'm training on the
do
bike.
it on a bike with
I'm renting
little
my
tires,
friends right now.
not big tires.
Yeah.
Okay? Little, not big.
Yeah, get the real bike. You know.
You don't want to do a 70.3 on a mountain bike, Chris. Trust me.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be
you.
brutal.
Yeah.
That would be brutal.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I want to follow up back with the question I asked earlier.
Yeah.
The personal approach or the pitch? Which one's more important?
Personal approach or the pitch?
Like the person himself or the pitch?
The pitch.
Done.
Yeah, you can overcome being a whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, like, okay, this is a terrible example, but this is actually an example.
This would be for like your people, like 'cause they're knocking on doors and stuff, you know.
No, so we do mostly inbound.
Okay.
So I do stuff like this, like get content, generate leads, and then it's all inbound. They obviously follow up, and we make a new person follow up with like a group of 500 people from the list, and that's their 500, and they just are there to recover people from that list, right?
Yeah.
But it's mostly inbound. My salespeople have it super easy, man. Like
amazing.
No door knocking, no cold calling, nothing.
Bang.
Yeah, it's a good gig. Anyways, but a point that I make to them a lot is like there are homeless crack addicts today who are going to go out and make $1,000 to get their crack today. They'll make $1,000 a day to get their fucking crack.
Yeah.
I was like, don't let the homeless person out earn you. Did you know that? Did you know that the average crack addict makes 6 figures a year?
Damn.
They're homeless.
Damn.
They still have money for their crack because they need the crack.
Damn.
Man.
It's
It's like
crazy.
I mean, seriously, did you
Wow.
actually know that?
I did not know
that's
that.
actually
No.
studied. That's
That's
a
insane.
fact. That's a fact. The average
insane.
crack addict makes
All
over
cash.
$100K a year. It's
Not
got to
even
be all
taxed.
cash. It has to be cash. Yeah,
Yeah.
and no taxes.
No taxes.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So
Damn, that's crazy.
when you're looking at like high performing salespeople,
Yeah.
what does like what do you think motivates those guys?
I would
From what
say
you've seen.
the goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, the goals. Yeah, their goals
Internal
have to be.
or like driven from outside?
It's a good question. I would say internally.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it has to be from inside. Yeah. For myself personally, like if I don't have like if there's an outside goal, like it's good, you can attain that target, but if that will run out if you don't have something inside of you telling you to do more. Because if you get 20 no's and you have that outside goal, and what do you mean by outside? Like, do you mean like
Given to you, like a target assigned.
Oh,
to you.
yeah, like let's say like the boss or someone says, hey, you have these targets. Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you
first
think it's a combination?
Yeah, but it has to start with you.
Yeah.
Because if you're just going by the person's targets that's giving you some, you're actually long term you're not going to be able to sustain a career there because you're basically living off of somebody else's.
Yeah.
And that's not who you are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're you.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
you're literally
so you gotta
living
have
off
both.
of someone else's targets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which can be good for some people, like it works for some people, But like if let's say for example, if I have my own goals and I have my own goals and targets that I want for the day, I have my own personal targets and the company gives me targets, that's good.
Yeah.
Because now I have, okay, there's my company targets and here are my targets.
Yeah.
So I have my personal targets and company targets.
Yeah.
Right? Both.
Yeah.
And they both matter.
Do you think
For sure.
Yeah, totally agreed. Do you think that like a manager, like a sales manager or something like that is do you think that most of the time these sales managers target their people below, at, or above the person's actual potential?
Below.
Always below.
100%.
I agree.
1,000%.
I've never personally, like when I was directly running our sales team, I didn't ever feel like I was actually giving someone a target that was above what they could do. I always felt like it was below what they could do.
Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think, like, what do you think about that? Like,
Good question.
Yeah.
It's their past.
Yeah.
Yeah. How they're brought up, their own mindset.
Yeah.
The sales manager's mindset is going to go to the salesperson.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
So whatever the salesperson's or whatever the sales manager's thinking,
yeah,
the salesperson's going to think.
Yeah.
Whatever the owner's thinking, the executives are going to think. And then the executives are going to pass it down to the sales managers and so on and so forth in any department.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm obsessed with just out of the line goals.
Yeah.
Like just freaking just like goals that like if I hit them, man, like I'd be so happy. But I know that even if I get close to that goal that I set, I'm going to reset my goals.
Yeah.
Even if I get some traction. Like I want my goals to be so far ahead that it's like, dude, like I may never hit my actual goals once I reset them. Cause I hit a few goals that I've already written down, but like looking back, I'm like, damn, why was I thinking so small?
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, dude, why was I thinking so small?
Yeah. You ever find one of those things where like you wrote your goals in the morning or something and then like you find it like a year later? Have you ever found any of those?
Yeah, no, I used to keep a box of every single planner that I had.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, every single planner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I threw them away though, because I was like, this is going to be too much to carry around.
And it's like, you don't need that old small thing.
But no, I found back in 2020 and 2019, I found like notebooks that I was like studying and training and watching videos and like taking notes.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at them, I'm like, damn, like it was almost like I was a student in college, but I wasn't learning college things. I was learning sales. I was learning closing. I was learning business. Yeah.
That's epic, dude.
Yeah.
If you were talking to a salesperson who's in an organization where they feel the goals that are being set for them are too low, what would you tell that salesperson?
I would tell that salesperson to go up to the manager.
You want to tell them?
Yeah, I would tell the salesperson to go walk up right to the manager and tell them that the goals are too low and they need to be raised.
And
immediately.
And if the manager is like,
if the manager gives pushback, you have to tell them, hey man, I didn't come here just to work for these targets. I have my own goals as well. And I believe that me personally, and not only myself, but the entire organization can do more. And that's why I'm here. It's because I want to do more. So let's raise the targets for the team.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking this way, imagine how many other people are thinking this way.
Yeah. And so worst case scenario, let's say the sales manager says yes, but then doesn't do it.
Follow up.
You follow up,
man.
Oh, I love
follow
that.
Up, man. Next day, hey man, you know, and you'll cause some friction, dude. You'll definitely cause friction.
Yeah.
But it's good friction. No business owner, because what may be happening is you're telling the sales manager, but the sales manager is not telling the director, and the director is not telling, and so on and so forth. So the communication gets stopped there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get carried through, which may cause some friction.
Yeah.
Now, what you should probably do is honestly, you should actually scratch what I just said. You should actually put it in writing. Like you should actually put it in writing. Yeah. You want to write it out, type it out, make it official. You know, don't do it the old school way of just like walking up, hey man, this needs to be bigger. It could work once. But you want to put it in writing, like have it in writing, like a proposal almost.
I think both are right.
Yeah.
I think that you actually do it in person first.
Yep.
Because that actually demonstrates, hey, you actually have the balls to confront somebody and say, hey, we can do better.
Yeah.
But then absolutely put it in.
Yeah, you need to put for sure put it in writing and like set that like actual have real data and numbers.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. How is putting things in writing a big thing in your world?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1000%, man.
Bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You need to put everything in writing, man.
How many times a day do you think I say put things in writing? How many? 20 times a day? 20 times a day, at least.
It needs to be in writing. It needs to be in writing. Because if it's up in the air, dude, it's unknown.
Yeah.
It's in the air.
Yeah.
There's no like, there's nothing in writing, man. Like if you want to build a building, dude, you can't just build it off of a building.
That's right.
You can't just build it off of like, hey man, I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put that there.
Yeah.
Like you need to have it whole drafted. You need to get the measurements,
Yeah.
the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
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 For sure. Yeah.
What are your
great question, by the way, too? Yeah, great question.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm full of them.
Yeah.
What are your like personal like super high aspirational goals like outside of business?
Outside of business,
Yeah.
Be like 75 and in the best shape of my life.
75 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want to be the example of like a great grandfather. Like whatever a great grandfather is and the greatest example, I want to be that. I want to be the dude that's like, damn, like this guy just has his life together. Not only in money, because I know I'll be fine money-wise. Like I will never run out of money. Yeah. And there's no shortage of money on planet Earth. So I'll be sure to get some.
Can we just emphasize that? Yeah. There's no shortage of money
no shortage
on planet Earth.
Yeah.
There's plenty.
Yeah. Just look at how much money the world's in debt. I think it was, last time I checked, it was like $31 trillion.
Yeah.
In debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
No shortage.
I think the value of like all the assets in the world is like, it's something like $100 quadrillion or something like stupid. Everybody on Earth could be a billionaire.
It's literally insane.
Yeah, there's enough there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But my true goal is to be like super healthy. Like I just want to be like the example of great health being older.
Wow, that's amazing. Man.
Like just like I can still play with the kids. I can still play around, play some soccer, play some football, throw the football, you know, like I want to be that guy to be like, yeah, dude, like this guy can still play, you know? That's my real goal.
What do you think about work-life balance? Like where does that lay for you? I'm assuming you would have some pretty like, just based on what I know about you, I'd assume you'd have some pretty extreme views on this.
Yeah, it's solid, you know, standard. I guess. I mean, there's
what's your personal?
The personal is that there is no balance.
Yes,
yeah, no such thing. Yeah, like you know, it's so funny, man. Every time you try to balance something, it just never works out. So the real target is like, hey, how can I do all of it? Make it all work.
Yeah.
If you got a girlfriend at home, you got a wife, you got kids, you got family, like you can make time for everything. Now, is that being said that you'll be maybe spend less time with your family? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But what's the actual time of you're spending with your family? What's it like?
Yeah.
Like, is it quality? Are you just sitting there watching TV? Like, dude, like, are you doing something? Are you like I was on family vacation last week in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy. I was setting up calls and I would do calls early in the morning.
Yeah.
Like from 7:30 to like 9:30.
Yeah.
Cause I know I'm like, dude, we're not gonna do anything during that time. Like I'm just gonna have an empty calendar. We'll be sitting there, making breakfast, yada, 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 dude. Like I just started a business. I need to do something.
Yeah.
You know, like I need to freaking get to work, dude. And I told my family, like you just have to be upfront with them too as well. Like, hey, I'm just letting you know, like during this vacation, I'm going to be taking work calls, yada, yada, yada. Like you just got to let them know. Cause if you don't let them know, then that's where the confusion will start.
Yeah.
And you will get pushback.
Yeah.
Expect pushback, but that pushback will turn into admiration every single time if you actually are a good dude and you actually do what you're going to say you're going to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, the other thing about the pushback is just from me to you, I would tell you that the pushback comes in waves and you hit it at you get different pushback at different levels.
Yeah.
So like we're going through a level of pushback from like some people in our environment that we don't actually even know personally.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like so like when you start, because now we're doing like we literally just dropped a bomb on our local market of Tampa Bay area. Like we're literally we're like on a TV show. We've had like billboards, literally the two best billboards on the busiest
I saw them.
highways.
Yeah, you showed me some. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
you sent me some. Yeah, those are nice.
Like those, we've had like Facebook ads going, or like everybody I know is like, I see you on Facebook ads all the time. Like we upped our posting, and it's like all of a sudden like boom, like new little weird little things from weirdos come in and they're like trying to like get you somehow. You know what I mean? And it's just another level of pushback. Like it starts with like your immediate family, and then it goes to like people in a wider sphere, and then it'll go so wide, like the big people that we know, they get pushback from people they've never even met, maybe even in a different country. Like at a certain level, you start getting governmental, like Elon Musk, he gets pushback from governments. You know what I mean? So I think that some people think that it stops along the way. It never really stops. Like there's always those people out there who just don't like you.
Gets bigger and bigger.
It gets
as
bigger.
You go. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you can tell the size of the man by the size of his problems. You know, is your dad pushing back at you, or is the president pushing back at you? Unless your dad's your dad's the president. If you're Donald Trump Jr., then
for sure,
same thing.
Yeah,
but
still the same thing. Yeah, dad and president.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's good problems.
Yeah.
That's really good. I like that.
Thanks, man. So what do you think, just in a nutshell, what makes a great salesperson? Maybe we'll end on this question.
That's a great question.
Thanks.
So I would say 2 things.
Yeah.
Number 1, train like a maniac.
Yeah.
You should be training in the car. You should be training in when you're working out. Train when you're like at night. Like obsessively train. And this is for the viewers that like obsessively train. Like you need to train like your life depends on it. You know, look at Kobe, look at LeBron. Like, you know, if you idolize sports, these people, they're training like maniacs. And the more that you train, the more you'll be prepared. Another thing is and one thing that I noticed is accepting yourself to change. So you have to accept yourself changing. Accept yourself changing. What I mean by that is as you start training and getting better and better and start making more money and more money and more money and more money and whatever it is, more health, anything like that, allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to make the changes. Allow yourself to like accept the changes that are going on in your life. Emotionally, physically, family-wise, business-wise, money-wise, everything. Like accept the changes, accept the hard decisions that you have to make. And what I found is that the faster you're able to accept the change, the faster you're able to actually progress. Because every time you try to stop a change from happening, it actually will stop everything else that's in motion. And that's one thing that hit me so hard. I didn't realize that until like 3 weeks ago. Like literally I'm feeling these changes, but there was something there that was holding me back from actually changing.
Wow.
Like it was something internally. And I'm like, dude, like I know what it is. It's that I'm not accepting the changes that are happening in my life. So I feel as though if you just train like a maniac and allow yourself to change continuously, like a master, there's no limit. It's pure
awesome,
potential.
Man. That's awesome. That's great.
Great question.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks. Good. Well, dude, we're basically at time. So
Nice.
let's wrap it up here.
Let's do it.
Anything that you want to leave people with as far as like, obviously, like you have a young burgeoning company. You know that word burgeoning? That's an SAT word.
Nice.
That's a really good word.
Yeah.
It means like just starting.
SAT, is that like the test?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You don't know that saying? Like that's your SAT word for the day?
No.
You didn't have SAT? Oh.
No, I took one, but
growing up, we had a
like,
calendar. Maybe it's just my family. We had a calendar where you'd pull the day off, and there'd be an SAT word. It was like created by SAT. There'd be a word on the back, like some complicated word.
Oh wow.
Burgeoning. That's your SAT word for the day.
Nice.
You can
What's
look up
that mean?
You can look up the definition.
Okay, I'll look it up.
It means like growing, but it's like young but growing. So you're burgeoning.
It's like sprouting.
Yeah. But like not slow like a plant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whatever a plant that grows really fast is.
Yeah.
But
grass.
Obviously you have it does. That's true. That's true. Grass. That's, oh my God, like weeds.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good comparison.
Yeah.
So, if people like from people who might watch this, like obviously it's mostly going to be contractors, people who have construction businesses, plumbing business, HVAC, electric, like what do you want to tell them about your company?
So I focus on remote salespeople. So if you guys need help with following up on leads and you don't have time to follow up on them, you need people taking the inbound calls, setting appointments. You need people to follow up on invoices that you and your salespeople don't have time to follow up with. I am the provider for those salespeople. So I'll provide you with the great reps. They filter through me, and they have to go through me in order to get interviewed by you. So that way it saves you time, more retention per salesperson, and most importantly, the salesperson will bring in more revenue for your business.
Yeah.
Very streamlined, very simple, very easy.
I love that.
Yeah. You can reach me on Instagram, Chris Dietz, CEO.
Love that.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. And we got to, when we do another one in a year, where will Chris Dietz be?
10 million.
10 million.
Yep.
Deal.
10 million in a year.
Book it.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Awesome,
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
Appreciate it.